Water's been pumped up from the house roof into these barrels up the garden, and this is the last one up here to be filled. So all those will be full. The two IBCs, they're 3/4 full, and that one there is full. Those two with me comfrey and nettle tea in, they're full, and so are these 6 barrels here. They're all 220 litres. So I'm doing well for water. I never thought of tapping into the house roof. I've got 5 other barrels down there on the sheds in the greenhouse, and they're all 3/4 full, all 200 litre barrels. But the house roof, it'll fill a 200 litre barrel in a couple of hours when it comes down. So I keep pumping it up, and it's enabled me to fill all these barrels up here, which, to be fair, is a godsend. The plot's coming on, but it is very slow. Could do with some more sun. All these here are hardening off. They've all been out about a good 2 weeks. Next lot of brassicas to go in, they've been out 10 days anyway. They all look well. And the sunflowers, the rain's put a couple of those down, but they've been out a fortnight. I've been covering them with fleece all over the weekend because we were told of frost. So I covered it 3-4 nights in a row, everything, and we didn't get the frost. But you can't take that risk. Sweet corn, that's okay. A little bit yellow, it's perhaps got the cold a little bit, but it'll be okay. And some more sunflowers there, and some fuchsias. They've been hardening up. I should have left them in the greenhouse really, but it's everything else, it's like room. I needed the room in the greenhouse. Potatoes, they look well. They've come on quite well, those have. Just see in there some flower buds. These have been in 53 days, so really about halfway. I think I did tell you about this little clump here, and that caught the frost. That was the first ones to show their faces, and as you can see, it has set them back, but they've come back. A little bit behind the others, but they have come back. So Carl, if you're watching, leave your potatoes alone. They should come back. They'll be a bit later, but hopefully they should come back. That's Carl from Nitrogen Fix No Dig. The rest of the potatoes are coming up. These are the first earlies, obviously, and then second earlies, they're all through. Got Enya and Charlotte. The reason they look a little bit red isn't any frost, it's just the fact that they've not long come through. They'll soon change colour to this. But there have all come through, and also these are all my lates, and they're all through as well. I've got Sarpo Mira, Blue Danube, and the other one is Picasso. Picasso was the seed that I saved myself from my own potatoes last year. The reason I put this netting around my lates is because I got some second earlies there. They're Enya, and obviously they'll be harvested first, so if I take those away, the foliage will just fall over off the main crop. So I've put the main crop all in a net like that. But first time in buckets, as I've told you. Very pleased so far. They're all looking very well. The long vegetables, the muly radish, I've thinned those all to 1 per station. They look okay. And the long carrots in the middle, I haven't thinned those yet. I'll wait till they get a little bit bigger. But they're all through. I won't net those ones. See if the carrot fly can reach that high. It's about 3 foot, that is. And the parsnips, thinned all those out. Still the odd one's still coming extra, but I have thinned them all out. I see there's one there with 3 seed leaves on it. But everyone's come through, which I'm very pleased about. I'll show you the thinnings. A photograph, quite long. I was quite pleased with the thinnings. I did cut some off that were too close to the ones that I was leaving, but the ones which were away from it I did pull, and they were 3 or 4 inches long, so I will put a photograph up of that for you. And the long carrots, the seed came from Medwin's own variety. They're all through. Like I say, I'll wait till they get a little bit bigger, and then I shall thin them to the strongest one. Yep, very pleased with all those. And celery, that's coming on, and you can just see there I've got a row of some lettuce coming up there. This rain is horrible. It's cold with it as well. Not good growing weather at all. It's a real miserable day. It's rained all night, and looking at the sky, doesn't look like it's going to do much else today. But like I say, it's filled with water butts and it's done the ground good. Get some warm weather, which I think is coming next week, and things will be on their way. My dahlias, they're all making an appearance. Asparagus, we've had 3 meals off these so far, and they're still coming. They look quite strong. Very tasty. I've put these cloches on to try and warm the ground up a bit. I'm going to put my squashes here, only growing small squashes, no big ones, and I have put an arch up here for it to grow over. As you can see, could have been done with it been a bit taller really. But these cloches will hopefully help to warm up the soil. Even lying them flat like that, they should help a bit of warmth in the soil. Jerusalem artichokes, they're coming on. You can see where I've got my fleece dotted around, where I've left it so as I can fleece up at night when we get the any chance of a frost coming. Sweet peas, they're away. Hilda's mix, and there's some more over there as well. That bed's going to be for me Crimson Crush tomatoes. Quite pleased about those. They're coming on okay in the greenhouse. You start hardening them off. But I've not been able to grow tomatoes outside ever since I've lived here because of blight. They always get blight. So hopefully that'll be my first lot of tomatoes grown outside. Elephant garlic, somebody commented they look more like leeks. Well, if I had leeks that looked like that, I'd be quite pleased actually. So yeah, that's very good. The carrots, I will just show you those. Those are the leeks there. And the parsnips outside have all germinated. So very pleased about that. A bit patchy in places, but the majority of them are through. So that's good. And celeriac, they've been outside for a long time now, so they won't look back now. They're still green, they look well. And the carrot bed, just take these clips off. All looking good. The far lot is sweet candle, never grown those before, and they look the best so far. I did see 1 or 2 ants in here, so I have just put an ant trap under there and put a piece of wood on to stop the rain getting in, and I haven't seen any in there since. I have resown where the odd patches where they haven't come through, so there's still time for those to come through. But yep, that's all looking good. There's over 400 carrots in there, believe it or not, and they're all 2 inches apart, so I'm very pleased with them. I've taken the tops out of all my broad beans. They don't need to grow any further. They're mostly set, so let them get on with producing beans now. As you can see, the beans are there. I haven't seen any black fly yet. I did hear somebody said that it had arrived, but I haven't seen any. So I've taken the tops out of them all, even those little side shoots, taken the tops out of everyone. I took them out over 2 nights and we steamed them, and you just get your first taste of the broad beans. Yeah, very tender, don't need much steaming, but yeah, delicious. Peas are coming on nicely. Do have flowers on the Douce Provence, as you can see. They all look strong and well. My spring sown broad beans, they're coming on a treat. I think the last time I showed you them, they weren't even up to the bit of netting that I've got them growing through, but they've taken off, and there's you can see flowers coming on them, so yeah, very pleased with them. I've just sown this morning some more of the Mange 2. That Snow Wind grows a lot of tendrils, so won't need a lot of netting, that won't. Those are my heat treated onion sets. Once they start to grow, blimey, they really do grow. They look well. And shallots at the back. People who don't know much about shallots from sets, that'll give you an idea of what happens to them. One onion set will split into 4, 5, 6, 7. So they all look good. Very pleased with them. That's my own saved seed, that is. So, yep, very good. Brassicas, they're in. I just put them in firm, and I put a ring of lime around them, just to stop the club root. I've never had club root here, and I haven't put cabbage collars on them this year for the first time. But there is cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower in there, and there's a couple of red ones. There's only the wife and I, so there's not too many there. In the end, I've got some swede to go in there. They've come through in the greenhouse. I chitted those and got 100% germination. Yeah, chitting is something that I've not done before. With the bad germination I've had this year, I took Terry's advice, Terry King, and started chitting, and so far I've had 100% on everything I've chitted. So that's my newfound friend. Long red Florence, banana shallot, red shallot, coming on nicely. Beetroot, a bit sporadic. Got some more sown in modules in the greenhouse. And there are my turnips. They look well. Every year I get the flea beetle, and they absolutely look awful. But because I've put a collar on here, I think it was Kelly said that the flea beetle crawls across the ground, and because it's higher up, you don't get them. So you can see them, they look well. I'm very pleased with them. So that's something I found out by accident. Nice when it goes like that. Doesn't always work that way. Another dahlia coming up there. I'm putting these buckets on them at night when there's a frost forecast. Some golden beets there. Nothing in that brassica cage yet. They're all hardening up, which I showed you earlier. That's not the best of germination there on those. Late strawberries. Second earlies apparently. And then the runners from last year. They look well for runners from last year, really good. And that's my first earlies. Plenty on there. Need to get some straw underneath. I'm not keen on putting straw on because it harbours the slugs, but I must admit I haven't seen any slugs, and on a day like this you would think you would see them. I've got no slug damage. I've got bark down as walkways, and obviously the not raised beds. People don't like me calling them raised beds. They're no dig beds. Since I've gone over to these, pest damage, I've touched wood, I haven't had any. Used to get the vine weevil, used to nibble the leaves on the broad beans, and they would have little curves in them all over. And as you can see, there's an example of one. Just where am I focusing? Just there, you can see that little edge there. Well, every leaf would be absolutely covered all the way around. Now, last year was my first year of doing the garden like this, and I can't say whether I noticed it, whether I didn't get them or not. But this year, nothing at all. And I think with the dry weather, the blackbirds and the song thrushes haven't been able to get the worms out of the lawn, so they've been digging around in the veg patch, and maybe they've had a lot of the slugs, small slugs. So far it's been a win-win situation. I'm sure something will come along and bite me. Radish, I re-sowed some of those because they wasn't very good, and they seem to be okay. And lettuce, all looking nice. Didn't harden these off, I just put them straight out with an extra collar around. Got a couple of dark ones there, I didn't sow them, don't know what they are. There's another one down there if you can just about see. But Lolla Rossa and Little Gem and I think the other one's Claremont, I think. But they look okay, they look well. And some spinach. I was complaining about the germination on them, but maybe I'm too impatient. They've all come well now. And I did buy some spring onions. You know, I've not had much success with them, so I did buy some from the nursery. Got to have some spring onions. So, from a very wet Shropshire, cold, miserable day. I wasn't going to do an upload today, but yeah, I'm going in now for a cup of tea because my nose is running and it's cold. Take care everybody. Bye bye.